Hey guys, it's time for language arts. In language arts today we're going to be making words and using this paper, and we're also going to be going over these as well. This one will be independent work, and we'll do the front side of this one, and then I'm going to have, oops, I dropped it. We'll do the front side of this one together, but then I'm just going to have a discussion with you on the camera here about this side because we already have a lot of work going, and I want to keep these to 20 minutes or less for you. I also was looking through some of Billy's work, and his teachers have sent him a lot of videos very similar to this one, and then I've also seen some that have songs and things like that on YouTube. So anytime that you see fun things like that that have spelling songs, letter songs that you want to do, those are great ideas as well. I don't have a lot of them linked to these videos because I'm already giving you a lot of work through here, and I don't expect you guys to be doing too much more than a couple hours a day. So I'm not going to put them in the email because I don't want you to feel like you would have to do them. But if you find them, that's great. And don't forget Starfall and ConnectEd, and all of our online stuff is also an excellent thing you can do as well. Okay, we're going to, before we get started on making words though, we're going to practice our spelling words and our sight words. Okay, so I'm going to flip my camera around. I'm going to lay out the word for sight words, and you need to read it, and then I'll read it, and you can test yourself to see if you're getting them correct, and then we'll move on to spelling. All right, let's get started. Okay, these are your high frequency words. Picture, father, brother, friend, mother, love. All right, hope you were able to do that one. I want to try one more activity with our high frequency words that I would sometimes do in small group settings. I'm going to put all of our words out here. Now you got to be careful to not actually touch your screen or you'll pause your video, but you can point to the right one. I'm going to say a word and I want you to point to it, and then I'm going to point to it and you'll see if you got it right. Okay, here we go. Oh, let me move that over. There we go. Mother, brother, picture, friend, father, mother. Did I fool you on that one? The last one is love. Excellent job. All right, we're going to move on to spelling now. I will say the word first. I'll say the word and then spell it out loud, and you're more than welcome to read and spell with me as we go through these. All right? Okay, since it's only Tuesday, I don't expect you to have them even close to memorized yet. Okay, so this is how we'll go. Here we go. Dawn, D-A-W-N, dawn. All right, feel free to read along with me. Paw, P-A-W, paw. Claw, C-L-A-W, claw. Saw, S-A-W, saw. Cause, C-A-U-S-E, cause. Haul, H-A-U-L, haul. Friend, F-R-I-E-N-D, friend. Love, L-O-V-E, love. Moon. M-O-O-N. Moon. Soup. S-O-U-P. Soup. Awesome job, guys. Before we get started on making words, we're going to read our fluency again and practice. Remember, choral reading from here to here, and then I'll read it to you from the line to the bottom. All right, let's practice. My baseball coach. My baseball coach. My baseball coach is a big help. My baseball coach is a big help. He shows me new things all the time. He shows me new things all the time. He also teaches me to not be rude or naughty. He also teaches me to not be rude or naughty. He is a super coach. He is a super coach. When I caught my first ball, my coach was so proud. When I caught my first ball, my coach was so proud. He even called my mother and father to tell them about what he saw. He even called my mother and father to tell them about what he saw. Now I'm just reading. His daughters play on our team too. One daughter can hit the ball hard. The other caught a pop-up ball to win our last game. My coach taught me how to pitch. I can pitch fast or slow. I love to launch the ball. When I pitch, I just try to picture a small spot. I don't always hit that spot. Oh well, I can just try more pitches another day. If I fall and get a bruise or a cut in a game, my coach will pause the game to help me out. He helps me feel better. He helps me play the best ball I can. I love baseball. Excellent job. All right, guys, it's time for us to do making words. It's our big Toggle Tuesday activity. I'm going to show you how I want these set up here on the board. And after I get my paper set up, go ahead and pause the video and get yours set up so that we can go through the words. All right, let's get started. So I started talking to the camera and writing this out, and I wrote it all the way out before I realized that I hadn't turned the camera on. So go ahead and pause the video and copy this on your paper, and then set your paper to the side, and we'll get our letters ready. All right, go ahead. All right, now that you've done that, go ahead and move this to the side, and we'll get our letters ready in that same order. All right, go ahead and make sure your letters are lined up just like this. You have 2 extra. Those were just in case you lost one and needed to write a letter on them. But otherwise, you know, don't worry about those. Just move them off to the side if you have all your letters ready. Make sure you have space to work. Don't worry about your paper right now. I want to focus on the spelling, okay? All right, the first word I want you to try to spell with your letters is, oh, also, don't forget, you can pause whenever you need to, okay? If I go too fast, make sure you use that pause button. Okay, the first letter I want you to make, the first word is car. Car. K-R. There's that R control vowel right there. Car. Very good. Okay, go ahead and put those back, and let's spell another 3-letter word. Was. Was. This is such a common sight word. We use it all the time. W-A-S. Was. Okay. Now we're going to make one of our spelling words using the same 3 letters. Okay. We're going to make the ah sound. S, ah, saw. Okay, there's the ah sound, the A-W. I want to change one letter to make the word raw. Like, do you like raw carrots? Sorry about that bell. That's my dog shaking his collar when he's scratching. This is raw. R-ah. R-A-W. Okay, this ah sound as the ending of a word has a lot of different words in this word family. So for example, we're going to change out the first letter again, and we're going to make the word law. Do you obey the law? What letter would we put there? Law. L-A-W. Law. Now we can leave law here for this next one and add a letter to the front of this word to talk about the kind of hands a crab has. What does a crab have? He has a claw. Claw. I mean, this is actually the sound you would make. Claw. Claw. Very good. Have any of you ever tried coleslaw? Slaw. Slaw. Okay. Very good. Now, who remembers what a plural is? What does plural mean? Plural is more than one. And we have an S in this bunch. So we did car earlier, and we can also do cars. Cars. Which means you can use that S to do a lot of different plurals. For example, the word law, okay, or claws. Make sure you add those to your list when we do our list next. Okay, now we can also use that S in front of car. And what do we get? The villain from Lion King, Scar. But that's not just a villain's name. A scar is also something you get when you have a bad injury that bleeds, and then a cut that heals, and you heal up and you have a little line there and you can still see what happened. Scar. Scar. All right, we're going to try one more word, and then I'm going to see if you guys can figure out, based on what we just did, what the mystery word is today. Okay, here we go. C-R-A-W-L. Crawl. Crawl. Now I'm hoping that the mystery word isn't too tricky today, and I'm hoping you can put it together based on what you see right here. Okay? Now, when you're done with that one, I want you to get your paper back out, and you can either rewind the video or just work on your own to do as many making words as you can. Okay? See how many words you can make from those 6 letters. Okay? And you can use the ones that we already made together. In fact, I hope you do. Okay? Awesome job, you guys. I can't wait to see what you guys make. This can be one of the activities that you send in. I'll leave it on the list for Friday, and I hope you'll send it in to me by Friday. It'll be one of the ones that's due. Okay? You can send it today if you want, or you can wait till Friday. Either way is fine with me. All right? When you're done with that, pause the video and get the little brown paper out, and we'll get started. All right, guys, excellent job making words today. We're going to get started on this next brown paper, as I just said, okay? We will be doing this side together, but this side, I just want to have a discussion because we already had a big activity. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but this side of the paper goes along with the story you got to read yesterday in Connect Ed. I actually got to go run into my classroom, our classroom, over the weekend and pick up the book. Woohoo! So now I'm going to be a little bit better equipped to go over some of the stories with you, but I still want you to go into Connect Ed and listen to them. That's something we can all do on our own. That way I don't have to use up our valuable lesson time to read to you, okay? But today we're going to be talking about this. Now, last week when we read the story, we talked about theme. And remember how theme talked about the big idea or the big underlying lesson that you might learn from a story, and that most stories do have a theme. Even our elephant and piggy books have a theme, like should I share my ice cream? And at the end we realized that Gerald probably shouldn't have worried so much about not having any, because in the end he didn't get any of his anyway because he spent so much time thinking about it. And if you have a nice idea, you should just do it. right? That's kind of the theme of that one. So even those fun books have a little lesson or an idea that they want you to learn. So we're going to talk about how this story also has a theme. And just as a hint, it goes along with our big question of the week, right? The one that's at the top of your, I have it right here. The one that's at the top of this one. Does anybody remember what that is? Should I show you real quick? All right, so it's going to go along with that. But instead of writing the word theme on this, they talk about it as the author's purpose. Now, when you have a purpose, when you do something on purpose, that means you meant to do it, right? When, like, if you get somebody tells on you and you say, well, I didn't do it on purpose, that means you didn't mean to do it. Okay, well, when an author writes a story, he's doing it on purpose. He has a reason he's writing a story. And so we want to know, what is the author's purpose in this book? And I'm going to guess it has to do with that big question. But once again, we're looking for what's called text evidence. We're looking for clues in the story that help us see why they wrote this story. Okay, so this one was called All Kinds of Helpers. And it went through, and each page talked about different kinds of helpers, right? Okay, on this page, they're talking about your family members and how they help you. And then here, it's talking about your teachers and how they help you, or maybe your sports coaches. Lots of people in your life who help you. On this page, it discussed doctors, and over here, firefighters and police officers who help you. Okay, and then it kind of wraps it up and goes over it again with all the different types of people who can help you. Friends and extended family also help you. Okay, so again, this book talked about all the people who help you. The purpose would be to show you that there are a lot of different people in your life who help you all the time. What clues were in the story? Okay, one clue could be your family and all those members of your family who help you all the time. Another clue could be your teachers or your sports coaches or your friends also. So if we were to do this, we'd either write those words in there or we'd draw a picture of our family, of our friends, okay, and then we would write the author's purpose, which is to show you that there are all kinds of people in your life who help you, okay? That's how we would do that chart in class, or here if we hadn't just done our making words activity, okay? Now we're going to turn it over to this side, and we're going to go over this side together, which is a review of your vocabulary words, which are right in the middle of this paper, okay? All right, get a pencil, get ready, and let's get started. When you accept something, you take it or agree to it, okay? When you accept something, you take it or agree to it. And if you do something often, you do it a lot, all right? When you do something often, you do it a lot. And that is what it says in the box. The instructions say to use a vocabulary word from the box to finish each sentence. Okay, and our vocabulary words are written here. Accept, often. Repeat those with me. Accept, often. All right, number 1. Chris visits the park blank to ride his bike. What do you think? Listen again. Chris visits the park blank to ride his bike. Often. That means he does it a lot, okay? You don't have to agree to something or take something to go ride your bike at the park. Number 2, Kyle was ready to blank the award from the mayor. Kyle was ready to accept or agree or take the award from the mayor. And in this case, it means to take it because he's going to hand it to him, as you can see in that picture. All right. Now it says, choose one of the vocabulary words from the box above. Write a sentence of your own, then draw a picture to go with your sentence. Okay, this one I want you to do on your own. You're going to pause in just a second, but let me show you the vocabulary cards one more time just to give you an idea if you're kind of thinking, oh, I don't know what to say. Let me show you the cards again. All right, so often, okay, this one was the one about how the class goes to the library often. Now, this looks like a hard picture to draw, a lot of people. But remember how we talked yesterday about how you brush your teeth often, you brush your hair often. There's a lot of things that you do every day, and that means that you're doing those things often, okay? So think about that. Think about things you do a lot, okay? And then the other word was accept. Accept. All right, if you accept something, you take it. And in this picture, this little girl accepted a gift from her dad, okay? So you could draw something like this, like a present, all right? What is something that you have accepted? Okay, so those were just to kind of refresh your memory about those vocabulary words, all right? Let's get back to that worksheet. All right, I want you to go ahead and pause, write your sentence, and then draw your picture, okay? I'll share mine with you. Okay. Now, I wanted to write, I often cook dinner for my family, but I was so focused on writing big to make sure that you could read it that I couldn't fit it. So I just said, I often cook dinner, okay? And so I'm going to draw a pot on the stove. Now, you can't really use this one because I don't think any of you often cook dinner. I'm going to guess that mom and dad still often cook your guys' dinner, okay? And there's a pitcher of juice on the table there, and maybe there's a roast chicken. Uh-oh, am I really gonna try and draw this? Let's see. There's the chicken leg. There we go. And it kind of has that shiny sheen. It's on a big platter. All right, I should probably have some vegetables or some fruits, maybe some fruit. We'll do cherries because those are easy to draw in a bowl. There we go. And everybody can have some of those. Nope. All right, we all know that I'm not a big artist, but there you go. There's mine. So you go ahead and write your own sentence using one of our vocabulary words. When you guys get to second grade, you're going to have to know your vocabulary words a lot better than we did in first grade. And that's why we're spending time each week now going over those. That's something I would normally do when we're at school. We would start to take vocabulary quizzes and other things more often just to get us ready for second grade. So make sure you're paying attention to those vocabulary words because in second grade, you're going to have them every week, okay? Awesome job, you guys. Let's go ahead and get that other paper out, this one here, and I'm going to go over the instructions. So pause the video and get that out. All right, this is your independent work today, all right? You can pause and do it on your own, and then we will actually, I'll actually post the answers for this one for you, and you can check them, all right? And it says, fill in the variant vowel. Write in the missing variant vowels on the lines below. Now remember, we're working with the ah sound. The ah sound. I want to point out that these were the ways we discussed how we see the ah sound. Also, one that we didn't include but should be there is just the A by itself sometimes, okay? So I'm going to leave these here for just a moment. You can pause the video now and fill out these. What you're going to do is put in one of those combinations into each of these to make it make a real word, not a nonsense word, okay? And I'll put the correct answers up. So I'm going to also tell you what these words are, okay? So this is a picture of a rocket launching. So this should say launch. Walk. Small. Swan. Draw. Wand. Yawn. And pause. All right, so now you may pause. Push this button. Boing. You may pause the video and fill in the correct variant vowel sound. Ready? Begin. All right, go ahead and check your work against mine and see if you got the spellings correct. It's okay if you didn't, because these are not all spelling words by any means, and so I don't expect you to know how to spell all of these, but I'm hoping that you have started to recognize some patterns, like the word small is one that you see a lot, okay, and the word pause is something you probably see a lot, okay, and draw. Okay, now some of these others are a little trickier, and that's okay, but the idea when we do worksheets like this is that you'll start to recognize them more, okay? Awesome job, Room 1. That's it today for language arts, except, go on through the email, make sure that you read the story that's listed in Connect to Ed, and make sure that you do any other work that's listed there before moving on to math. And yeah, that's it. Awesome job.